Hey everybody, welcome back to another business analysis video. In this video, I'll be talking to you about business analysis deliverables in the project lifecycle. And by deliverables, I mean the documents, the things that were required or expected to produce. Now, the project lifecycle begins with the project initiation, the start of the project, the discussions. What are we trying to do? What issues are we facing, right? The second stage is the analysis stage. There are also different documents that business analysts provide at this stage. The third stage is the design stage, then follows the development stage, and finally the testing and implementation stage. So at the initiation stage, the sort of documents that business analysts produce or contribute to is the business case, or the feasibility study, or the project initiation document, or the project mandate. What case are we making for the business? What justifications do we have for starting this project? So this is what the business case is there for, to gain consensus of the project direction and scope. What direction are we taking with regards to this project that we're planning to start? So this document justifies the benefits and the estimated costs for the project. It also presents and evaluates the courses of action that will address a problem that will enable the organization to grasp, to take up a business opportunity. It really just tries to justify the reason for us to start our project. Now, in the analysis stage, the business analyst will provide the business process mapping documentation and the business requirement document. The business process mapping document should come before the business requirement document, okay? So the business process document will contain the business process diagrams, and this is really great for understanding the processes of the business. It also identifies pain points, issues, as well as opportunities for change. One key thing about business process mapping is that it helps to understand the scope of a project. And the scope of a project should relate to the business process. So this is how you can start to determine what the scope is for your project. And finally, the business process mapping documentation helps the stakeholders to have a starting point of their processes, and especially for better understanding of the whole entire process. Who does what? When do they do it? How do they do it? What are the handoffs? What are the business rules? Now, the business requirement document is a document that contains a catalog of all the business requirements. In Agile, we will call this the user story or the product backlog. So this will also contain the priority and the justification for each requirement represented in the BRD. It's there to help, again, just like the business case, it helps to gain consensus and understanding of all the requirements in scope for the project. It also includes the requirements priority, which is mandatory for the BRD. In the design stage, the business analyst can produce various different documents, such as the use case model or the context diagram. These are models or diagrams that help with understanding the functional requirements, which is also a document that the business analyst will produce, the functional requirements document, or the systems requirement document, or use cases or user stories, okay? At design stage, the business analyst will also create the non-functional requirements document and some data mapping, as well as the request for proposal. So these are all the various documents that the business analyst can produce within this stage. So the use case in this design stage will list the actors. Who are the actors that interact with the system? What is the system, and what are the various interactions that they have with that system? So this is why I said it helps with framing your functional requirements as well. Now finally, in the testing or implementation stage, the business analyst will create test scripts or test cases So it's not necessarily a document that we are supposed to create, because testers should create this, but business analysts also contribute to the creation of these test scripts, which help to test the functionality of the system. So it's very important for a business analyst to understand what the test cases are, how they are created, and what are the key elements. And finally, within this stage, the business analyst could also create the training materials or the new business processes. So that's the end of today's video. I hope you've enjoyed today's content, talking about the various documents that business analysts produce and at what stage within the project lifecycle. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this content. You never know who it might help. As always, I'll see you in my next one.